What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. Hit that subscribe button and that notification button for movie reviews as well as updates to my short films and any short films that I have coming out that will be posted on my YouTube channel. I know I was supposed to do an update on some short films that I'm working on, especially one that I said I probably wasn't going to do, and I will be doing it. I'm working on it right now. So I will be having a video talking about those short films soon. I will do it. I was supposed to have done it already, and I know I haven't gone to it, but I will. And here it is, finally, my Mortal Kombat 2 review, and 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed this film, more so than the last one. I liked the last one. I believe it was 2021 it came out, 2022, 2021, the reboot. I liked it. I enjoyed it. There were some things that I was like, I'm not feeling. But after the second rewatch, at the time, I was like, you know, I like this. I like what they're doing with it. But in the second one, they just kind of like did away with some things that they brought in the film, like the Arcana. They didn't really speak on that. Spoiler alert, Ko Young, who was the main focus of the first film, he was supposed to be our eyes as an audience, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't need another new character that was not in the games to be my eyes. I could just follow Liu Kang or any of the other protagonists, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, whoever they wanted to be, you know, the main character. But they gave us Ko Young, and, you know, I ended up liking him, and I'm like, why don't you just put him in the video game, the next one, so we can be like, all right, he's a character. But in this one, he barely had any screen time. His face got smashed by Shao Kahn's hammer, and what a way to go. Got thrown into the, well, not thrown, pushed into the pool, the acid pool pit. And there goes Ko Young. He's done. The main focus were Kitana and Johnny Cage as the main protagonists. Of course, you have Liu Kang with a great fight scene with Kung Lao. Like, that was the best fight scene. And Kung Lao is a great character. He's a great fighter in the games. And even in the movie, Max, I believe his first name, Max Wong. I might have jacked his name up. But the actor himself was awesome as Kung Lao. And I just feel like Kung Lao, even in the animated, you know, the movies, like, I feel like he was always getting dominated. And he's such a cool character, you know, a great fighter. But, you know, it was good to see him again. And, you know, he was a revenant. He was on the side of Shao Kahn. And, you know, that fight scene with Liu Kang was just awesome. It was dope. Liu Kang was, you know, he did more this time. And, you know, he really felt like Liu Kang, even though he still wasn't the main character. He even says it in the movie. Kitana defeats Shao Kahn, which, you know, I thought was fitting based on what, you know, he had done to her father and ruling Medenya and whatnot. There were some other characters that I just feel like they're thrown in. Jade, you know, she had that relationship with Kitana. I liked her. Didn't really bother me. I would like to see more from her because I like Jade as a character. But Jax and Sonya, they're just there. You know, they're extra characters that, you know, obviously survived in the first film. But I just feel like I should be able to see more from them. And I would like to in the next film. I mean, Jax dies, and the whole idea of the third one is to bring the friends back. Which is, when you think about it, it's like, so can we just bring everybody else back that died in the world? We're just going to bring our friends back. But I get it. It's for the film, and that's just what it is. The tournament, you know, chosen ones that you have to participate. And like, that's just what it is. But, you know, that mindset kind of like, why don't you just bring other people back? But I get it. But I just feel like I want to see more from them. I want to see more from them. I think they're great actors, you know, for the characters as well. I mean, I like those characters, Jax and Sonya in the films. I just feel like there needs to be more. Sindel was cool to see, but I just feel like she didn't really do much. A character like her, I feel like should have had more, you know, of a prominent role. But again, I get it. There's just so many characters. We got to see Quan Chi. Hopefully the next one he has a bigger role because he's more than just, you know, I'm bringing people alive and then I get captured, which I feel like Kano capturing him is part of his plan. I don't think, you know, Kano would capture him so easily. Speaking of Kano, great in this film as well. You know, I love the actor. I think he does a great job. When I say I love the actor, I mean his work as Kano. But I think he did a great job, and they had to bring him back, of course. And I just feel like the only thing that I need from him is the metal plate. I need the metal plate. I know he doesn't need it because it's just part of the Arcana, you know, the eyeball, the laser blast. But give him the metal piece somehow. Just do something. They had an opportunity with Quan Chi, you know, bring him back, and we couldn't finish for whatever reason his face, so we just put a metal plate. I don't know. They could have done that, something like that, but I would like to see the metal. He's not Kano without the metal piece. Raiden, and Shang Tsung, probably the two weakest in the film for me because they don't really do much. Again, I know probably the actor, he's not a fighter, I guess, Shang Tsung actor, but I would like to see him fight, just like in the original film, Shang Tsung fought. You know, like I want to see Shang Tsung fight. Raiden, he does more in this one than he did in the last one, but he was sidelined, you know, to being hurt. He got his neck cut, and you know he lost his power, so it was just like he was sidelined, and you know that was part of the story. But you know, I would like to see more from Raiden, and we're probably not gonna get to see much from Raiden, especially in the third one if he's gonna speak to the elder gods, which he kind of does in the video games. I guess he goes away or whatnot. But yeah, that's him. Shao Kahn was a menace. He was awesome to see. Unlike Annihilation Shao Kahn, who was trash, we got to see this, you know, Shao Kahn, who was awesome, man. You got to see a lot of everyone's abilities, from like Shao Kahn's that shoulder thrust, and Kung Lao, you know, disappearing and reappearing with his hat, you know, going down the floor, or just the way he just disappears and then reappears is dope. You know, Liu Kang also with the fireballs, he does so much more. And Johnny Cage, Karl Urban, you know, at first I was like, really, Karl Urban? And I like Karl Urban, but I'm like, he's kind of old. But this is the story that they were going for with Johnny Cage. And I know he could pull it off. It was just more so the age. But this is the story that they were going for. And I thought he did a great job. I love this Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is my favorite Mortal Kombat character since day one. I stick to that. I've always liked Johnny Cage because I always felt like I was, you know, if I had to choose anyone that had a closeness to me, it was always Johnny Cage. Obviously, you know, he's an actor. I, you know, was always into movies and wanted to be an actor when I was young, and Johnny Cage was it. I just like to see that he's been growing in all the games, and he was cool in the movie. I really enjoyed him. We got to see the shadow kick. That was pretty cool. And Baraka, that whole scene with Baraka was dope. Baraka was cool to see, you know, an actual cool Baraka, nice looking Baraka too, unlike Annihilation, but that whole scene with Baraka, that was dope. I really enjoyed the movie. You know, there were some things that I would have liked to have seen more of, but you know, what we've got compared to the last film, like, I really enjoyed it. It's a tournament film. There's nothing much to it. You know, Mortal Kombat has a story, but at the end of the day, you know, it's really a tournament and just trying to protect the realms from Outworld and, you know, the villains. You really can't go much deeper into that. So, you know, in the reviews, a lot of that talk is like the plot points or whatever is just like fast or just goes here, doesn't really make sense, this and that. And it's a fighting movie, you know, a video game movie. Like, you're gonna have fun with what you are given. You know, you have a little something from the first film talking about, which wasn't no tournament, it was just talking about more of a story, you know, like leading up to it, and how you have the tournament. Like, there's a plan to it. So take it as one big story, not just separate stories. And it's like, it's missing something as far as, you know, story wise, you know, like, you have a story. They just gotta win a tournament. The Earth Realm has lost 9 already. So it's like, we gotta win. So there is a lot going for it, unlike, you know, what some reviews saying, but I really enjoyed it. Check it out. Again, 2 thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, and let me know what you think in the comments. I will get back to you later.